Good evening, good evening. Hey, the phone won't let me turn it while we coming to you live from Dallas. So I gotta do a little makeshift here. Let me get my little stuff together. But look at this, man. Look at this. I'm just telling y'all, like, you know how I feel about messing up. You know how I feel about missing shows. Like that's not in my DNA. But I'm working it out here in the great state of Texas, and learning some good stuff. And it's I guess I'm gonna just have to be the handheld, because I tried to rotate it and it ain't working right. But you know how I feel about that. Hey Val, what's happening? What's happening, classmate? This is gonna be a great show. But trying to see if I got this guy that's coming by. I got a guy coming by, man. He's hilarious. I'm gonna have to have him on when we get back to the studio in Atlanta. This guy is hilarious. And you know how I feel about missing shows. So even if I'm on the road, this week I'm in a training class. That's why I got my little, let me see, that's me, lanyard, Joaquin Thompson. And just learning a lot of stuff. And it's really pertinent to what I've been talking about in the past few weeks, about just getting into a different mindset, just understanding, you know, things may be the way that you feel like they are, but not like the way that you need to be. I'm sorry? About 40 minutes. Is that too long? I can move. You good? Because if you need to clean, I can leave. For right now? All right, let me know. Okay. And you see, hey, it's real. I'm like, I don't care. But you know, just had to kind of like hijack this conference room so that way I can get this information out to y'all. But I'm out here at a training related to mortgages, real estate strategies, and ways that we can leverage this money that I have access to. Because maybe like a month ago, I did a post where I said I had access to $20 million. And if anybody knew of anybody that, you know, had a house for sale, or some real estate in your area, or you seen something boarded up, or you want to be a real estate investor, or on and on and on, right? I'm saying, hey, I got access to this money. Only thing you need to do is reach out to me, let me know. Hey, man, hey, Brown, you need to shoot me. Text me, I'm out of here tomorrow, but text me Kmart's number if you got it, bro. I was thinking about you yesterday, man. Make sure you text me Kmart's number, man. I'm out here in Dallas, and I'll be out here till tomorrow. So if I can't catch him tonight, I may not catch him. But text me the homie number. But the thing is, like, out here, I'm in this training with cats from all over the country. From, you know, San Diego. I met a dude from San Diego. Me and him been kicking it. Met another, you know, guy from Austin, Texas. Met another guy from Dallas, Texas. Another guy from Tennessee. Another young lady she's from somewhere. But it's a small class, like 22 people. And then we got this brother that's leading the class. His name is, I'm gonna just go by his first name. The guy's name is Dana, right? Real cool guy. I mean, really. But the good thing about going through training is, especially, and here's the thing about going through training. Hey, Raheem, I'm on the air, man. I can't answer the phone. I know he probably looking for me, but I'm in Dallas, bro. I'll hit him up later. He probably worried about me. But the thing about getting around people that have information that can change your situation. That's the best way to put it. It's people out there that have information that can change your situation, right? And what I mean by that is this. You may be trying to start a business, right? Just like the Daily Bread Show. I'm giving you information from a standpoint of stuff that I've tried, that I know that works, related to personal finance, related to credit, related to savings, related to budgets. But I'm not giving you stuff from stuff that I read about. I mean, some of it I've read about, but a lot of it I've lived it. Like, I've done it. So if somebody come to me about, credit or, this, but then we also mix in the whole thing about mentality. Wait a minute, man, y'all ain't even stopped me. Hold up. Even though I'm in Dallas, let me back up. Because I'm seeing some new names, some people coming up. Listen, man, let me back up. I mean, y'all should have said something, man. Like, bro, you ain't even start the show off right. Even though I'm not in the studio, we got a lot of people that have maybe seen this for the first time. So, my name is Joaquin Thompson Sr. I'm the host of the Daily Bread show, and this show is about personal finance from a spiritual perspective. We don't do religion. We only do one thing on the Daily Bread, and that's God. So this show is about personal finance, everything from A to Z, right? We do what I call the classics. The classics are credit, savings, budget, debt elimination, investing. Those are the basics. But we also do the dirty. The dirty is bankruptcy, repo, tax lien, foreclosure, being sued for being behind in debt. And what my goal is just to make this a forum where you don't have to feel ashamed or bad, like, God dang, I'm struggling. Like, are you trying to front? Got the fugazi, people ask me, man, what's going on? Oh, everything Gucci. I'm like, nah, everything ain't Gucci. You know what I'm saying? You struggling, you and your lady arguing. I mean, it could be any number of things. So what I try to do is take this show, put it out into the universe. Like, hey, man, if you listen to this, if you want to see what's happening in the world, and then I just infuse some information where I'm at, what's going on in my world, and hopefully people, will learn, listen to it. What's up to the homie, Tim? I appreciate you joining. James Brightman, I appreciate you. Miss Fonda, I appreciate you. Bushwick Bill, I appreciate you. And that's what I do each and every week. So this week, I'm out here in Dallas. And what I was saying is I'm in this training class, and we got people from all over the country that's learning the same thing from somebody who's an expert in what he does. And what I mean by an expert is this. The guy that's teaching us the class, who's the mentor, name is Dana. And then he has two other guys that are helping him out, Todd and Zach. But Dana is the mentor. And Dana is the guy that's saying, hey, look, I can teach you about real estate. Not only can I teach you about real estate, I can teach you different ways that you can take the excuses out of your life as far as, I don't know, I don't understand, I don't have the money. He's taking all of the excuses off the table. Like, you can do this deal with no money. But not only is he saying you can do the deal with no money, he's coming back and he's showing us step by step how you can do the deal with no money. That's different. That's different than reading it in a book. That's different than somebody telling you, oh yeah, you could do the deal. He's taking it, holding our hand. And that's one of the things a lot of people don't want to do is just humble ourselves like, man, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. And investing in your own education, because I always say, like, if you're gonna buy a car, if you're gonna buy, whatever people spend money on, and it's tax season, right? Why not take $500, $1,000, put it on yourself? So my question, to my audience is this: if I told you you could spend $1,000 on yourself, because it's really on you, and I could show you a way to make, we're gonna keep it conservative, $3,000. I can show you how to either make $3,000 or avoid paying $4,000 or $5,000. Would it be worth it? Heck yeah, it'd be worth it. Like, where else you gonna get 400% on your money? Not in the stock market. Stock market is going down. Everybody's concerned about the coronavirus. I mean, but investing, see, the thing about when you invest in education, nobody can take that from you. Once I show you how to do something, do it like this. Connect A with B, and then connect B with C. And then if they say this, you do that. And if they say that, then you do this. If I give you that knowledge, right, it don't matter what happens after that, because after that, you already own it, because you own the knowledge, right? You own the knowledge. So you don't have to worry about how much you put into it or what you got, or, you know, because nobody can take that from you. So I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I just got a little pop-up on my screen. So if this thing, you know how technology, if this thing cuts off or cuts us short, then hey, so be it. But I'm gonna keep rolling until the wheels fall off. So if the wheels fall off, just know, hey, did what I could do, give it to you all straight. But just think about that. Think about, I'm talking about he's coming in saying stuff like this. I can show you a way, and I'm sure plenty of you all have heard about this. Somebody's trying to sell a house, right? Say the house is $150,000. $150,000 house, but they owe $150,000, right? But they need to sell a house, right? Something happened in life, you know, they lost a job, they had a medical emergency, whatever, they moving out of state, you know, husband got a job out of state, wife got a job, something is making it where they need to sell this house. But they owe $150,000 and the house is only worth $150,000. How they gonna sell it? How they gonna sell it? Because most people, most realtors, right? Because the thing that people don't take into consideration is this: even if the house is only, if it's worth 150 and you're trying to sell it at 150, you got to pay the agent 6%. What's 6%? That's 9,000, right? Am I saying that right? Yeah, 9,000. You got to, right? You got to get the agent $9,000 on top of paying off the loan for 150. So now you at 159,000. In addition to that, just say 5%. You got to pay 4 to 5% in closing costs. So add in another, like say $4,000 or $5,000, right? Just say 5, just for argument's sake. So now you up to $14,000 on top of the 150. So most people don't have 14,000 on top of the 150. But what if somebody could show you a way that you could step in as a real estate investor? And a real estate investor is nothing but a person that got knowledge. They don't necessarily have money. I mean, because you got cats out here that's wholesaling, people out here finding deals, they selling them to other people. People take their deal and rehab them. You got some people who rehab property. Some people like, I would never touch a rehab. Some people are like, I love rehab. Some people like, I'm the contractor. I just put in all of the floors. I put in all the electrical. I put in all of the plumbing. But what if somebody showed you a way that you could take that person that's in distress at 150, get them out of their note, because you're just solving a problem. You're a problem solver at that point. So that's the kind of stuff that Dana is sharing with us, so that way it's not run of the mill. But it all goes back to what we've been talking about for the past 3 weeks, or really the past 3 years on the Daily Bread, which is changing our mindset. It all goes back to mindset, because even in this environment, when all of these people from all over the country, when he first put it out to us, people was like, you can't do that. And he was like, where'd you get that from? My real estate agent told me you couldn't do that. He was like, I've done it 100 times, like literally like 100 times, maybe 150 times. So are you gonna believe the real estate agent that has never done it one time, or are you gonna believe the expert that has done it 150 times? But it's just a change in your mindset where you like, oh man, so you really saying like, I could do it like this? I'm like, yeah, you could do it like that. So now, so now, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm like, okay. So think about this. Think about think about how many people, man, how many houses. Think about how many people, man, how many houses that people saying ain't nothing you could do with that. And now I had the knowledge, I can just walk right in and say, bro, let me help you out. let me get you out this boa constrictor. Now, if the boa constrictor got you like that, right? And I come in and can take the boa constrictor from around your neck, bro, do you think that's valuable? That's valuable, man. And here's the sweetest part. Not only can I take the boa constrictor around your neck, But once they teach me, and that's what I was joking with dude, I was like, man, you like Mr. Miyagi. I was like, I feel like the Karate Kid. Because I'm like, once you show me something, and I take it back, and I practice, and I study, and I practice, and I study, and then look, here go the big part. Then you start trying it out. Because learning in here is one thing. Because it all works when you're in the class, right? Oh yeah, just do this, do that. It's gonna be something different when I get back to Atlanta and I try it out, because then it's real then, right? Because now you're dealing with a real person, you're dealing with real money, you're dealing with real, a real transaction. I forgot what goes in this, ooh, I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. But guess what? It don't matter. Because once you learn it, you go through there and make all your mistakes. Man, you don't know what you're doing. Like, I thought you weren't supposed to put that there, because he even talks about that. He even talks about the mistakes that he's made that cost him money. Like, man, yeah, I put the wrong amount in there. I didn't get it recorded down at the courthouse, and then it came back. The guy took the property back, and I ain't even realize it. But I lost about $10,000. I lost this. But guess what he learned? He learned what not to do. He was like, look, you lose. Look, man, the show is just about this, man. Just about us being totally honest with each other. Have you ever say you go to the ATM tonight. So you go to the ATM, you get out $100, get 5 20s out the ATM. Say tomorrow we having this thing. I need to make sure that such and such is happening. I'm gonna get this $100 out. You get $100 out the ATM tonight. You go to the ATM, boom, you get the money out, right? So you get the $100 out the ATM, and then you go home. Say you on the way home, you stop by your partner's house or your girlfriend's house, wherever you made one stop on the way to the crib. Chopped it up, boom, 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 went home, got tired, went to sleep. Bam, went to sleep. Got up the next morning, went on about your way, got to where you was going, where you needed the $100. And then you realize when you was going through your pockets or your purse, you're like, oh shit, where's that $100? I know I had $100. So I must have left it at home. Must have dropped out of my pocket. So you freaking out. I don't know about you, but it all goes back to your mentality. A lot of people, me included, not that it's the end all to be all, but if I know I had $100 in my pocket, I know I had it, and I got where I was going tomorrow, and I couldn't put my hands on what you think? Oh man, maybe my wife went in my pockets, maybe my grandson came in, maybe my granddaughter, or maybe it's home. Yeah, maybe I put it, I was tired last night. Maybe I put it in my drawer. Maybe I put it in the cabinet. Now, you already going to have panic attack number one. That's what I call panic attack number one. Because then when you get out there, you can't find it. It's not in your purse. It's not in your wallet. It's not in your pocket. It's not in the car. It's not in the ashtray. It's not in the... You're like, God, ooh. Right? So you must be home. You get home that evening. You're looking for it. You can't find it. Now you like, shoot. When the reality sets in that you lost $100, you trip. You kind of like job like tripping, right? So let's take it up tenfold. Thank you, Selena, for joining. Hey, Joe, I appreciate you joining. Big D, you already know. So let's take that up tenfold. Say you had $1,000. Say you did a real estate deal and it was $1,000 in a little envelope. You had a nice little stack of, 10 100. You had 10 $100 bills. Same scenario. Did a real estate deal, boom. You got $1,000, had it in your purse or had it in your little bag, whatever, fold it up in your pocket. Boom, the next day I'm rolling, I'm bad. And then all of a sudden you can't find that $1,000. You're gonna be kind of like, I don't know. I know I'll be like, I'm tearing up something. I don't know if it's gonna be some drawers. I don't know if it's gonna be some cabinets. Something getting torn up if I can't find that $1,000. And I'm about to start implicating some people. So just think about that. So the lesson that I learned in it was, this man is sitting up here telling you, and it's just like, how you meet people, man, and they always tell you about how many people they beat up, right? Man, I beat such and such. Man, he's talking about, I slapped that joke. They tell you all of that, right? But they never come back and say, man, I remember this one dude, boy, he beat the brakes off of me. I was running my mouth. He slapped me in my mouth. You don't never hear them stories. Like, you don't hear them stories. But you know, if you beat people, people will beat you too, right? Like, just like what happened last weekend. But right, with Wilder. Wilder was saying hey, I do this, I do that. Got the brakes beat off of him. But he ain't gonna talk about that fight. He ain't want to talk about that fight. So it's the same thing when you're trying to do something and you have a loss. It's okay to have a loss, right? It's cool to have a loss. Because guess what? When you have a loss, you remember that. You take a beating, somebody beat you, especially if they beat the brakes off of you. Bro, you gonna remember that one. I don't care how long you live, I don't care where you go at. You might be from Duval and you came out to Dallas, or you done went to San Francisco. I don't care where you went. Somebody said, man, you remember back when you was in high school, man, that joke was choking you and then you fell out. You can't say, no, I don't remember. you remember, man, we was down at Hannah Park and dude pulled up, man, you remember? You be like, yeah, I remember that pretty much, right? So I'm saying that to say, it's cool if you learning, it's okay to make mistakes. So you ain't gotta try to put on that front like, like, oh, I ain't worried about it. Make the mistake, take the beating, because guess what's on the other side of beating? Greatness, bruh. Success. That's what's on the other side. You can't tiptoe to success. You can't tiptoe to greatness. That's why everybody is so intrigued by what Kobe went through. People didn't really appreciate it when you was watching it, but when you went back, it's unfortunate, man, that brother had to pass in order for people to just really like sit back and say, God dang, that man, he was just great, right? But the thing that made him great was what? All them air balls in Utah. When he was taking them shots, and people was like, bruh, pass the ball. He was like, ain't nobody open. Kobe was like, I'm talking about Kobe Bryant, the real Kobe Bryant, bruh, ain't nobody open. If you out here, I don't care if we got on the same uniform, ain't nobody open. But me, I'm the only person open. But what he learned from that. He learned from that, man. So I'm saying whatever you do, whatever your skill set is, if you're trying to learn, whatever you're trying to learn, and get that whole, and here's something else I want to talk to you about. Get the whole excuse about, we're too old. I see a lot of people on here, Cadero, Maria, Arthur Jefferson. I seen my man got there, Shorty Cool on earlier. I seen Val Capers. We ain't as young as we used to be, but what I can tell you is this. We still can learn a lot of things. We can still be successful. We can still, one of the phrases I always say is it too late? Listen to this. Is it too late for you to be great? Is it just, we in our 50s, right? Going into our mid-50s. Is it too late? What if you lived another 30 years? What if you lived 30 more years after 52? You lived to 82. So between 52 and 82, do you have enough time to be great? If you really focused on something, if you really stopped with the, all of the excuses and all of this kind of stuff, man, that's what it's about. So it's about us learning. This real estate game, crucial. Super crucial, because I'm looking at everything that's going on. I was telling you all about San Francisco. I'm looking at Dallas, same thing. I've only been here like 2 days. I see the same exact thing. I just came here 2 days ago. We staying on one end of town. They took us to another end of town. Super cool. But we driving through a neighborhood, just a working class neighborhood, and they pointing out all the different things that when you looking at a house, I'm talking about houses I ain't talking about people with no for sale sign in the yard. I'm talking about houses where you just driving through and you just looking and you saying, dang, that person may be, they may be interested in selling their house. So the thing about that is just getting the information, right? Just getting the information. They teaching us these techniques. I'm super excited about Jacksonville because that's home. That's where a lot of stuff is going on at, and it's a tremendous amount of opportunity, not only in Jacksonville, but all over the United States. All over the United States, man. It's a ton of opportunities from, I mean, just name a city. New York, San Francisco. I mean, those are some of your higher markets where people are like, you know, houses starting at the 1 million mark or 900,000 mark. But guess what? That's cool. That's fine. Because you got other markets like, say, like Jacksonville. If all these people, think about this. Let me tell you how the real estate game is really going right now. San Francisco, right? I was out in San Francisco. The same thing in New York. If you making, say you retire as a New York City police officer, you got your pension. Now you can try to buy a house in New York at 1.4, 1.5. You know, you got this little small space or whatever. That's just what the market is in New York, 1.4, 1. And that ain't, you ain't buying a lot of house. Same thing in California. Or you can move down to Florida and get you a brand new house built from the ground up. Maybe not right in Jacksonville, but it's some places as you go down A1A and go down 95 that they start to develop. 250. I got a friend. It ain't been it's February? Yeah, February going into March. She bought this crib in November. So this ain't no time ago. We're talking about what, 3 months ago? November, December, January. Yeah, say 90 days ago. 250. Listen to this. 250. 4.2, fully custom house, minutes away from the beach, a little south of Jacksonville. $250,000? $250,000. So if you living up north or if you living in California, man, if you come down to Florida and somebody tell you can get your own, that's like the American dream to them. They like, oh my gosh, and I got a yard, So what's starting to happen is all of these people are migrating to Florida and to the Southeast because the housing market is cheaper. People can't afford it. It's not sustainable in places like New York and San Francisco and LA. You know, the market is just so elevated that people feel like they're getting priced out of the market. We see the same thing in Atlanta. I mean, inside the belt, inside of 285, right? I was going to say inside of the belt line. But inside of 285, you 250, 300 all day. I don't care what neighborhood, I don't care where you at. You 250, 300 all day. And I'm in the mortgage and real estate game, and I'm telling you, this is what people, I'm going to live in Atlanta. Okay. Where you going to stay? It's 250, 300 out the gate, period. So in a couple of years, this is going to keep going up. I know the market is leveling off in some places. I was talking to a guy here. It's from San Diego. He's saying the same thing. The prices were going up and up and up. Now they're starting to level off in San Francisco. But guess what? Guess what leveling off is? 650,000, 750,000, 850,000. That's leveling off. So, if you leveling off at 700,000, it ain't so many people can get in at 700,000. So especially when they could come to Florida, right? Weather's good, your arthritis ain't gonna be flaring up, it's nice and warm. You know, what you gonna do? You gonna stay there and struggle, or you can move to Florida and live like, oh my gosh, like, oh man, I'm living good. Might even be able to buy some beachfront property, because in Duval County, beachfront property is still reasonable. What's reasonable? 300,000-400,000, even 500,000 if you on the ocean. If you go all the way down to Miami, how much is a place on the ocean in, say, Fort Lauderdale? From Fort Lauderdale all the way down to the Keys, how much is that? It ain't no 400,000. I promise you that. So, you know, that's the thing that I want us to be in tune with, the thing that we want to be, you know, just think about our future, because this real estate thing is just out of control. And it's right in line with, you know, the personal finance piece, because personal finance is going to be built on what? Your ability to be sustainable. And how do you measure, how is wealth, right? Not rich, but how do you measure wealth? Wealth is not measured in dollars. Wealth is measured in time. Wealth is measured in time. And you may be asking yourself, like, what do you mean? Let me tell you what wealth is. Wealth, the way you measure wealth is how long can you go Like if you stop doing whatever you do today to generate income, right? You might be a small business owner, you might be a big business owner, you might be an employee, you might be fully commissioned, however you make your money, right? However you make your money. If you stop March 1st, if you say March 1st, I'm done. I ain't doing nothing else. I'm done, right? How wealthy are you at that point? Now I know people have pensions, and I know people got 401ks and stuff like that. But even with that, there's some trickery in there, because think about it. Some people say, well, hey, if I work here till I'm 70, they're gonna give me 50% of the highest amount that I ever made, right? So I made 200, I'm gonna make 150 for the rest of my life. Oh, perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect if what? If your expenses are not more than that in a year. And that's when you start thinking about those different types of markets, right? But everybody's not going to be able to retire with a 6-figure pension or a 6-figure, salary. The average person is going to be way under 100, because studies say you're going to make 40% in retirement, right? You're going to make 40% less than you make during your wage earning years. So if you made 100, right? If you made 100 while you was working, they saying when you retire, you're going to make 60. But the question that you have to do and make the best business decisions about is this: are you starting to have your debt come down, or are you still accumulating debt? So in order for you to be comfortable, you have to start getting rid of that debt. You really gonna have to start getting rid of that debt, so that way you'll know what you can and can't do, and you're not struggling. Because I don't know about everybody else. I'm 53, just turned 53, and as I'm watching things, my biggest desire, because I ain't fearful of it, but my biggest desire is I want to age gracefully. And what I mean by gracefully is I just want to just live on my own terms. I don't want to be struggling. I don't want to, I don't want to be thinking about that like every day for the rest of my life until I leave this planet. That ain't my thing, man. I want to stay focused on God, let God keep, pouring into my life, but I don't want to be 70, right? If God blessed me to live another 30 years, I don't want to be 72 looking around like, God dang, where am I gonna get this money from? Like, God dang, I don't want to, the neighborhood didn't change, I'm gonna be struggling. So I'm saying all that to say, just in full transparency, man, I want the best for everybody. Everybody that's on this broadcast, from Erica, I see my boy on Big Watts, I see my man on Will Golston, I see Bo on air. I appreciate y'all, because one of the things that I was out here, man, and met a young guy and a young lady that said that they want to do a podcast, and they was asking me, hey man, how you do a podcast? I said, man, the number one success factor is you just got to be passionate about whatever you're talking about, and don't worry about them numbers. Them numbers, it ain't about them numbers. Forget them numbers. I ain't worrying about them numbers. You know what I'm saying? Because God gonna always send you one or two people that's like, boom, you're doing a good job, man. But you got to be passionate about it. I mean, people are asking, how you do a podcast? I'm like, this podcast? I'm doing a TV show? And with that being said, look, Sunday nights, 9 o'clock. No, I'm lying. Sunday nights, 9:30. Channel 295 on Comcast. If you're in Georgia, Comcast, channel 295. AT&T, channel 6. And if you're not in Georgia, or if you're not on the Comcast or AT&T platform, you can catch it on AIBTV.com/AIB everywhere. So no excuse, man. Y'all tune in. I'm really working with the network. This week is going to be episode 8. Is that right? Yeah, episode 8. The brother that's coming on this week is dynamic. That's the only thing I say. He's a minister. He's a financial guru. This brother, Antonio Eubanks. We've been rolling for about 2020? Man, we've been rolling since, let me just I do the math. We've been rolling since 96. We've been rolling since 96. I met this brother in 1996, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Georgia. Man, beast. He is a monster. I'm talking about investment strategies. I'm talking, and again, not somebody who's talking about, hey, you know, this is what you do. Hey, you know, I'm talking about somebody that's like doing this. He's doing it daily. And I mean, he's quietly, the same stuff that you get on CNBC, I'm talking about the exact same stuff. These strategies that you need to, you know, make sure you set up your portfolio where you're getting, you know, a dividend every month. Because, you know, you might be on a fixed income. This brother's already doing that. This brother has a list of companies that he's invested in, that he continues to invest in, that pays him a dividend every single month. Every month. Who you know doing that? Every month. This brother is he's a guru. So if y'all don't, hey man, if y'all don't do nothing this Sunday night, look, I ain't competing with the Super Bowl this Sunday night. I ain't competing with the Oscars. Look, I ain't competing with Ghost. I mean, Ghost, hey, y'all done did what y'all gonna do with Ghost. It's just me. I'm the last man standing. So this Sunday night, 9:30, make sure y'all tune in, tell somebody, because we doing some great stuff over here. I see my wife sign in. I seen a little bubble come through. I love, shout out to my, you know, my one and only. 30 years in the making. That's a long time. 30 years in the making. That's a long time. 30 years in the making. And we still doing it. So shout out to Tanya. Much love to you, baby. And it's just, I mean, and that's what I want for everybody. I mean, people like, man, you can't, you know, look at this, man. I'm gonna just give y'all a glimpse. You see them numbers? That's 140,000. This man is showing, man, I'm talking about, he breaking some stuff down where it's like, man, if you don't understand, and I don't mean to jump all over the place. It ain't about that. But just want to make sure that y'all, and be committed. I want to also, you know, it don't matter where I'm at. I can be in San Francisco. I can be in Seattle. I could be in wherever. But if I'm somewhere and they got Wi-Fi, I'm doing this show. I don't care where I'm at. I could be on the moon. I could be with, what's his name? I could be with, what's my man name? Elon Musk. If Elon Musk called me tomorrow, say, hey, bro, we going to the moon, and we got one seat left. We want you to go. If it's on a Thursday, and I can get the time right, like if it's Central, Eastern, Pacific, I'm doing that show. Because one of the things that I was sharing with some of the people that's in this group here that have an interest in doing a podcast was, I was like, you just have to do it. You have to just keep doing it, though. That's the biggest thing that I see. I've seen a lot of people start, and we've talked about this as well. Whatever you do once you start, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. And you can't worry about the numbers. The numbers going to come. The money going to come. The success going to come. The people you going to help not. And I'm going to bring this in. I don't think my man is on tonight, but I did an episode. And if you all haven't checked that one out, I'm gonna give the number out so y'all can. And this is another reason why I do this podcast. Episode 127. Now, I got a saying that I've been using in 2020, which is listen to what I'm saying to you. Burn your boats. Burn your boats, but not your bridges. Burn your boats, but not your bridges. Burn your boats, but not your bridges. What does that mean? That means this. Whatever you say you're going to do, get fully committed to that. Meaning, if you say, I'm going to the league, right? You might be in college, or you might be, I'm going to start my business this year. Okay, it's 2020, you starting your business. Burn your boats, meaning burn anything that's going to allow you to retreat. And I know retreat is a part of war. Retreat sometimes is good, to live another day, but having an option to fall back into your comfort zone, that's not good for you. So you got to burn your boats where you like, look, either I'm going to make it, or it's over. It ain't no other option. Burn your boats, but not your bridges. What I mean by not your bridges, you don't have to burn your relationships with different people, but you do have to make a commitment to yourself about what it is that you're trying to achieve. Because if you start out trying to do something, or if you say, I think God is telling me, okay, you gotta sign. You're gonna do it, right? But if you start off doing it and it get hard, and you say, you know what? Maybe I'll just go on back over here. No, why? No, you gotta press on, man. You gotta just, like, I don't like it. I hate it. I don't like what I'm going through. But that's the way that you're gonna grow. That's how you're gonna grow. And if you want to bypass all of that, you ain't gonna get to the sweet. You ain't gonna get to the success. So burn them boats. Like, it ain't no retreat. Just like if you imagine you look back there like, well, I got a boat. If something go down, I can jump in my boat and we can get back to land. We can get back to dry land. My comfort zone, in case something happen. But if you burn them boats and it ain't no way for you to get back off the island, you got to deal with it. You got to deal with your situation. Like, nah, bro, I'm not stopping, man. I'm going this way. So that's why I don't worry about the numbers. The numbers gonna come, the exposure's gonna come. And what's bigger than numbers is this. I'm sitting out here and I'm doing my thing in class. I get a text, right? Now I get a text from somebody and they writing in all caps. Now some people, when they send text, that's just what they do. They always send all caps. But some people who don't naturally send all caps, they send you something in all caps. It means that they stressing. They stressing what they're saying, right? I got a text from a brother today, real close friend of mine, just out of the blue. Me and him I ain't talked to him in a couple weeks, but he sent me this text about the show. He said, man, listen. He said, somebody told me, now me and him good friends, he said, listen, somebody told me that I need to go back and listen to episode 127 of your podcast. And I was like, so I'm reading the text message. He said, so I went and listened. He said, so I went back and watched it. I went back and watched episode 127 of your podcast. Man, he said, man, listen, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. Bruh, you was preaching the gospel. And here's the funny part. The place where, and Mike, hey, I see Mike Martinez on. Bruh, that's it. Get rich or die trying. Your life a testament to that, bro. I learned this from you. You should have told me it was going. You should have told me I was next, bro. I remember I was talking to Big Mike. And I was saying, man, it's going to be all right. Bro, don't worry about it, man. It's going to be all right. Then I ran into you in the Starbucks. But, you can appreciate this story. So he was like, but here's the thing. He said, man, but this was the most intriguing part of that text message that he sent me. He said, man, I think what you said was so profound. He said, I think everybody in the company has gone and listened and watched that podcast. And when he said that, I was like, whoa, that's deep. That's deep. And the reason it's deep is this. Burn your boats, not your bridges. I ain't saying nothing wrong. I told the truth. I told the truth. And that's one thing about when you telling the truth, you ain't got to wait. If you tell the truth will stand on its own forever. Forever. Nobody ain't got to, you ain't got to go back and clear it up. You ain't got to go back and say, well, what I meant by it was, no, it wasn't no lie. It was the truth. I told the truth. Episode 127, I told the truth. So when he said that, he was like, man, all these people talking about that episode, man. And I just want to let you know, man, I'm so proud of you, bro, what you doing. And I was like, dang. But when I did episode 127, I wasn't thinking about, I wasn't thinking about that, right? But I was thinking about this because that's part of why I do this show, is because I want people to know that with God, with God, I don't care what come on, with God, I don't care what come on your goddamn radar. I don't care what come on your, I don't care who, what, when, why, I don't care none of that. With God, man, he said he make your enemies your footstool. With God, so I was like, I ain't gonna lie and say, because I'm human. You have moments where you're like, dang, how's, ooh, because that's natural. We always want to ask how, right? How's this? Ooh, I wonder what, I mean, I wonder. But if you trust in God, if you keep him first, if you don't faint when the going get tough, all right, he gonna make a way for you. May not be easy. I ain't say it was gonna be easy, but he will give you the opportunity to be exposed to some things that you couldn't otherwise be exposed to if you were still in bondage. He will release you from bondage, and bondage could be an addiction. Bondage could be cookies. Like with me, man, I'm bonded by Chippehoys, man. It's something about Chippehoys, and I'm like, man, I can't, seem like some nights I can't go to sleep unless I be eating some Chippehoys and some milk. But the way that I rationalize it in my mind, I'm like, it ain't like I'm smoking crack. It ain't like I'm, shooting heroin out, but everybody got something. Some people got a sex addiction. Some people got an alcohol addiction. Some people got a, they outthink themselves, right? Like self-esteem. Everybody. And that's the way when I talk to myself, I think about it like this. 7 billion people on the planet, right? Everybody got something that they dealing with. Every person. So I'm like, okay, if everybody got something that they dealing with, then who am I? I got my own stuff I got to deal with, right? So I ain't no different, but I'm not gonna trip about that. I'm not gonna, be less than because I got something to deal with or I got a certain history. So what? History is what make you. So you ain't got all that stuff. Whatever happened in the past, whatever somebody said, whatever mistakes you made, whatever, man, just God give you a whole nother, every morning when you wake up and that sun hits your face, he be like, boom, here you go. You got another one. Figure it out. I just gave you another day. Figure it out. I just gave you another day. Figure it out, right? Figure it out. He gave you another day. You ain't gonna spend that day just forget that. Gave you another day. Boom, here go another one. 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 Boom. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna put you around some cats. Look. Just talking about them. Talking about them M's, right? I'm gonna put you around some people that know more than you, that done more than you, that seen more than you, that experienced more than you, that failed more times than you, and they still rising. And guess what? I'm gonna make their heart, and this is the most powerful part, I'm gonna make their heart align with your heart. I ain't talking about no fugazi. I ain't talking about no slicksters and, it's all about me getting your money. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about somebody that's genuinely saying, hey, man, do you get it? And when you look and say, do that one more time. Sure, no problem. Sure, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Not no, we're going to go, I got your money. Sure, no problem. You want to stay late? You want to stay after the training? Cool. You want to come 45 minutes before the training start? So I can give you some one-on-one, and I can make sure when you leave here, step 1, step 2, step 3. I'm gonna print it out for you. I'm gonna draw it out on the board for you. I'm gonna show you where you're making this. You want to do that? 45 minutes before the training start. Are you down with that? I'm like, yeah, I'm down with it. And that shows that it ain't just about the money. That means that their heart is aligned with your heart. So that's why I do the show. And when you talk about universal, the universal law, man, man, this broadcast go all over the world. It's people all over the internet be seeing this stuff. They might only watch for like 5 minutes. But some of the people that see it, they take heed to it. And when they see me in the street, like the text I got today, if that ain't this is episode 141, right? I've done this 141 times. 141 times. And it feel like I'm doing this for the first time. I'm sitting there, look, man, this the goddamn car. Look at this. Bruh. You see all them chairs? This the conference room. This where the training going down. I hit the train up. He was like, do what? I said, hey man, y'all, I already know the answer. I said, hey y'all, oh yeah, there ain't no problem. Ain't nobody gonna be in there. They probably be cleaning up. I said, I just need a place to sit with some internet so I can get down. Because my message to everybody is we can all do it, right? We may not all be where we want to be at right now, but if we keep doing what we want to do, we're gonna eventually get to where we're going. But you gotta have goals and you gotta have a destination. Because if you don't have goals and a destination, then you just all over the place. You don't know if you're winning or losing. You just, no, you gotta have a destination. I want to go here. I want to go here. And I want you all to be my accountability partner. So when they asked in the class, I was like, I ain't biting my tongue no more. Hey, I want to have in the next 24 months, $500,000 in net profit over the next 2 years. Between 2020 and 2021. Into 2021, December 31st, 2021, when I look at 2020, 2021, I want to have a net profit of $500,000. I want to achieve $20,000 in passive income in the next 2 years. Maybe it take me 2 years and 2 days, 2 years and 2 months, 2 years and 3 weeks, 2 years and 5 weeks, might take me a year and 11 months. But them 2 goals, that's what I'm going to that. So if you run into me in the street and you say, hey, I thought you were supposed to be, if you see me somewhere with my feet kicked up and I'm not working, I want you to remind me, say, hey bro, I thought you was trying to get the $20,000 of passive income. You ain't gonna be able to do that sitting over here. You ain't working on your goals. So I'm telling you, I want you all to be my accountability partner. Just mention, you could text me. Hey man, you working on your $500,000? Because guess what that's gonna do? It's gonna put me in a position where I wanna be, which is what? To be a bigger blessing to a larger number of people. That's it. You can't take it with you. So it ain't gonna do me no good to be a gazillion, billion, skillionaire, right? But what I can do is I can help bless some people. I can teach some people. I can provide for some people. I can show some people. I can do all of that, man. And take some of the stuff that God has given to me, give it to some other people that they don't see it yet, they don't believe it yet, they don't understand it yet, they don't know it yet. But you got to have a bigger financial resource in order to do that. Because if you don't have a big financial resource, I'm gonna give you $1,000 if I'm struggling. I'm gonna give you $10,000. Open up your Subway. I'm gonna give you $20,000. You see, I'm looking around and cat's like, man, wait, let me get my stuff, get ready to get out of here. But how am I gonna, do that? So that's all I'm trying to do, man. I'm just trying to be a bigger blessing to everybody. If it's something that I can do to help you out, by all means, hit me up. Let me know. Let's dialogue together. Let's talk about some stuff together. Let's work on some stuff together. Let's collaborate on some stuff together. You know what I'm saying? I'm meeting people in here. I ain't met dude but one day. He already like, man, look, I want to partner with you. We want to do this deal. And I'm looking around. I'm like, all right, if you about that paper, I'm about it too. Let's partner on some stuff. Let's do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to do it in my community. I want to help some more people. And this summer is going to be bananas. I'm gonna wrap it up with this because we got about 4 minutes left. This summer, bananas. We doing a financial, me and my business partner, we already talked about it. We doing the schematics, we working it out. But anyway, we're going to be doing a financial literacy, I guess you would almost call it like a boot camp for kids this summer. We're going to take them out. We got this property sitting on 5 acres. We're going to take them out to the property. We're going to feed them. We're gonna let them stay at the crib, the house that we got out there. We're gonna teach them different components of financial literacy. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna literally teach them so that way they can't say, I heard about it, or I read about it in a book. It's like, nah, bruh. Our company showed you that. And then the next step is gonna be what? For us to continue to follow with them. So when they become of age, what are we gonna do? We're gonna show them how to accumulate real estate, land, businesses. Not nobody talking about, learn how to read a profit and loss statement. They know everything else. These kids now are super smart. I promise you, by the time they get to be teenagers, they'll understand a profit and loss statement. They'll understand a balance sheet. They'll understand an income statement. They'll understand a budget, right? While they learn all that other foolishness, we're gonna raise some little businessmen, some little, investors. So that way when people are saying they'll know, because we're gonna teach them. So we're gonna start that this summer. Our own proceeds, it ain't gonna be bootstrapping. We just gonna provide it for them. Maybe like 5 or 10 young men. And like I said, ain't nothing like having an experience where you go out somewhere and somebody show you something at an early age. I'm talking about 9 years old, 9 to 10 years old. So just think about what kind of impact that's gonna be on their life when they look back and like, man, I remember learning about a house, how to buy a house when I was like 9 or 10 years old. I bought my first house at 18. I bought my first apartment at 23. I learned how to read a profit and loss statement by the time I was 12 years old. Think about that, how powerful that's gonna be. So that way as they age, then they could be a bigger blessing to their community, to their families as well. So that's what we're gonna be doing. Hey, I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. I know people are gonna be saying like, I can't believe you, yeah, man, I don't care where I'm at. If I'm with Elon Musk and he said we going to Mars, because I think he got some trips going to Mars too. I'm gonna be like, I'm down to go to Mars, but if it's on a Thursday night and Elon Musk let me drive the little machine, the little spacecraft, because I'm looking for the book of the week, man. I'm not gonna shortchange y'all. Look, that's the book of the week, The Banker's Code. I've been talking about this book, man. This is the book, man. Y'all gotta go get it. The Banker's Code. Man, it's an easy read. It's only about 177 pages. But this book, The Banker's Code by George Anton. Gotta go get it. I'm telling you, man, this is some top secret type stuff, bro. If you learn how to do this, it's a game changer. It's over. It's over. The Banker's Code. I'm talking about, they telling you how banks think. They telling you how banks think. They telling you why